Okay, everyone, this is my spoiler free review of the newest Batman film, The Batman. Now, you see all these great critic scores are coming out on Rotten Tomatoes for it, and it got me more hype, but I still had to keep my expectations in check here. I was so excited, and disclaimer, I'm not someone part of the Snyderverse. I'm not like this Snyder head. I'm not a big fan of Zack Snyder in general. I think the only film I've liked that he's directed was Watchmen. I am not a Christopher Nolan head either. I have no bias here. I'm going in this just looking at it as a film as it is. So what I did to prepare was watch all of Matt Reeves' filmography before I did this review. And, I have similar issues I had with his recent Planet of the Apes film in this movie. That the thing with Matt Reeves directing to me is he frustrates me as a director because I feel like he's too into his own head where he's in love with his work, obsessed with his work. But it's plodding along and he doesn't have a good awareness of pace and where it needs to tighten up, and that could go to the editor too, right? So this movie, just keep your expectations in check because it is slow and it's long, and that's fine. I like that it was long because we've seen it pulled off recently with Spider-Man No Way Home. But the difference with Spider-Man No Way Home and this is that Spider-Man No Way Home, from the beginning to the end, I was engaged. I felt so many emotions were here. Didn't really feel anything, and I checked my phone to see what time it was a couple times, which is crazy, and that shouldn't be happening, right? And it's frustrating that this is the case. And to compare it to Spider-Man No Way Home, because that's the most recent big superhero movie that everyone was going to see, that movie has about 10 moments where the whole audience is clapping and shouting. This movie has two. People saying it's better than The Dark Knight are out of their minds. It's nowhere near The Dark Knight, and it's not even as good as Batman Begins. It's better than Dark Knight Rises, I'll give it that. But it has things where you want more. It feels like it's so reserved and laid back that it never really takes off. And I do like the performances here. I love Paul Dano as the Riddler. He does the best dynamic performance. I think Penguin's solid with Colin Farrell here, but he's not in it much. I do think, though, that Zoe Kravitz and Robert Pattinson do the job well. They're good, but there's not any dynamic element to their performances. I think they're very one note, and that's disappointing, but they're still good. Like, I enjoy it, and it's more of the writing, I think, that hurts this film for me. And that's the problem, too. I'm talking about just moments people clap. There's nothing memorable from this film for me. And this isn't a spoiler, but one scene that was amazing to me, though, there's probably one that I thought was amazing, but still not that memorable, is you see in the trailers with the Penguin and the car chase with the Batman. That was awesome. But that's another issue I have, speaking of trailers, is that a lot of stuff in the trailers spoils story beats that are really important, that they actually affect the scenes while you're watching because you kind of know what's going to happen because of the trailers. So that was also concerning. And that's a problem with the marketing there. Can't really hold that against the movie. I do like this broken version of Batman. I do like what they were going for, but I think it gets obsessed with making sure it's a detective version of Batman, which is obviously the original full-on detective comics DC here with Batman, but it's too obsessed with it where it forgets it's even Bruce Wayne or a superhero movie, and it gets bogged down in crime jargon too much that it just feels incredibly slow and plotting, and that it's not as clever as it thinks it is. Everything I've seen here before, and that's really just disappointing at the end of the day. But again, I think that there's a lot of good happening here, and it's just a good movie. And I think what's frustrating while you watch it is you see so much potential with the talent involved that's why I'm showing all these criticisms, is because it makes it just okay. And I think it's brought down by the directing and by the script, which is really, really disappointing. So I'm giving this one a 7.9 because, again, at the end of the day, it's still a solid film, and it does a lot right with tone, right? There's some stuff, I'm really trying not to spoil anything, but there's some stuff we've seen in the beginning I like that I wish they did more in the middle. And again, it really just suffers from not being super engaging, but it's got its moments with the action and the fighting, but still could be better. Everything in this could be better, and I think even the score is overrated, and they repeat the main theme a lot. They do it to death, and you're going to hear a lot of the same Nirvana song that you've heard in the trailer, and it's just repetitive. So yeah, the more I talk about it, the more frustrated I am with it. But again, I don't even know how to put it into words, but it's still worth seeing. It's still solid. It's not a mess like some of these Snyder Batman films, but It's just not amazing. It's just good. It just holds back. So let me know if you plan on seeing it. I read every comment and try to respond as many as I can. Give me all your thoughts when you do see it. I also have a spoiler review that's out already, so you can check that out after you've seen it. Or if you want to spoil yourself, go right ahead. And please follow me at Steve Varley Show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok for more of me. And I'll see you next time.